All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Muri Zimbabwe. Tiri kusangana nasu uno uri musi wa 7 August. 7 August 2026, which is a beautiful day. Ratinotenda whoever is out there who gave us this day. So, muri Zimbabwe, things are happening. This is the Zim update. Edition Zim update evening edition every day na 7 p.m. nenwenyu super nexus sezvamuri kungoona tiri mu newsroom zvinhu zvichiitika. So muri Zimbabwe, a lot is happening muno muZimbabwe right now. Our main headline: kubatwa Kwiyo kwemukomana, kugadzikwa mudish kwemukomana. But we're going to come back to that because there is also a lot more that is happening. Muri Zimbabwe ndoda kutanga. I just want to let me do this. Ndisataurisa too much. Let me do this. Regaiti pindi muka video yaka because internet haikangamu. That's the good thing.
Vazhinji venyu ava imbavha ende nemukuru wenyika ndiri mbavha hombe nokuti vazvinoita nezvokubika. Kana iwe mukuru uchiba, vadikowo vachateera vachiba. Vanoitira kuti kana wazoda kuti iwe vakuda kuvataura kuti iwe uri kuba kana kuti kuita sei, iwe hauna remuromo raunokwanisa kuti uvataurire nekuti iwewe ndiwe mbavha hombe, nekuti vachakutaurira iwe kuti iwewe tanga waregera zvauri kuita zvokuti isusuwo tiregere. Saka imi mukuru ndine mbavha ndine mbavha hombe, mapaza nyika. Vazhinji venyu ava imbavha.
All right. So muri Zimbabwe, inini I like kutaura zvinhu semunhu, sezvo tiri vanhu vanoedzwa, vanowira mumatemptations. But I just want to say, look at comrade Mapfumo. Look at Mapfumo Thomas and listen to what he just said here. Panapa ari kutaura achishorapodza government to the core. He's just saying it's imbava. And then this same guy unouya kwatiri achitiudza kuti imimi kana muchiti wiki nochivha imbavha mungasungweka. Muri Zimbabwe, what is this? What is going on with us as a nation? Are we tasvika level kuti in reality atina principles and atitori nama principles, zvingori zvinhu zvokungoita because I'm gonna get paid? As long as vachindibhadhara, I'm just gonna think wiki nochivhaya wandipa Toyota ndichatenda ndigoita sei. Because you see, muri Zimbabwe, isusu tisu the only voice rasara muri Zimbabwe. Muripo pano muneni super nexus, tisu the only voice retruth rasara. Tarisai muona. And you see, it's a problem because maZimbabweans anonyengereka ende munoona chikristu chakatipinda senyika mubrain zvokuti we are easily manipulated. You understand how? Kureva kuti iwewe kana munhu akaba mari yenyika and then obuya oitira something good to kuvanhu 10 kuvanhu 20 and then you onzi thank that person. Why are you jealous? Why une jealous iwewe kuti wikino une mari yake? When we have evidence yekuti wikino haisi mari yake, because iye pachake wikino wakazvitaura audio ikalika. Right, muri Zimbabwe, now let's get into the real story. Ndaida ngoti tange na Mapfumo because Mapfumo I was like so let's get into the real story, which is nyaya iri kuitika behind the scenes right now within the deep state. Muri Zimbabwe, Mnangagwa hapana kumirira zvakanaka. Mnangagwa right now pakamushatira zvokumushatira zviya. Vakomana vakumutevera on a very high speed. Muri Zimbabwe. Alright, tiripo palive panapa inzwai mure Zimbabwe what is happening within the deep state. So news dzasvika panews desk manhero anaya kubva kuna comrade takawira vachitiudza isusu about a sudden move yaitwa nemagenerals ari kuside rekwa vachiwenga. So right now muri Zimbabwe tiri kunzwa kuti Mnangagwa already angatova neplan in motion yekudzinga Chiwenga, yekudzinga Chris Mutsvangwa, yekudzinga Tino Machakairi, yekudzinga mukadzi waChris Mutsvangwa. But these are not the only people who are being targeted, but these were amongst the first batch yekudzingwa muZimbabwe. Right, so plan yanga iri kuti vachipedza kudzinga these 4 votevera kudzinga ani Chiwenga. But tiri kunzwa kuti the plan yaitwa counter move pakandigwa Chijoka right now, and Akanda Chijoka is one of the well-known comrade anofamba nava Henry Mchena. Henry Mchena, I think most of you now you know who is comrade Henry Mchena. Right, muri Zimbabwe comrade vana va Henry Mchena vaita move yaloka zi move ranga chidaitwa na Mnangagwa, and that move ndeye kuswededza wamuno watinoti isusu Chief Justice Elizabeth Gwaunza padhuze. Right, muri Zimbabwe tiri kunzwa isusu kuti Chief Justice Elizabeth Gwaunza vaita another, which is the second meeting, and you have to understand how these things gets dangerous, how these things shake the state house, shake Mnangagwa, because muri Zimbabwe in the game of politics, mugame repolitics hakuna kunzi une absolute power. Kana ukachinjibwewo nemunhu akaita sa Elizabeth Gwaunza anova Chief Justice unodonedzwa anytime, because once the courts make a ruling, now it will be easy for any state institution in order kupikisa kuti ukupikisa. So let me get into this muri Zimbabwe, because it's big. So this series of meetings, quite meetings, you think kuti meeting is nothing, but meeting is alignment. And Elizabeth Gwaunza right now ndiye munane bora muZimbabwe. How? Because right now chinhu one chakamisa Chiwenga faction kuita ma moves are dangerous or whatever is the pending court case NemaComrades ari kufamba iwo na Love Momaduku. That one court case yakabata zvinhu zvese muZimbabwe, yakamisa zvinhu zvese muZimbabwe. And Elizabeth Gwaunza ari iye Chief Justice, she will be the one with the voice, the last say, we have the last word. Kuti, how are we going to judge this constitutional court case? Zimbabwe, this is big. So this is the second meeting yatiri kuripota pano pamzinda wevanhu neni Super Nexus. Triple live. Welcome kuri vari kujoina. This is our program every day, the Zim update every day na 7 p.m. So remember to tune in, because ndopateke tichibudisa information yese about everything that is happening, kubva zviri kuitika deep state mukati megovernment kusvika zviri kunyangadza streets and everywhere, kusvika ndizvo zviri mumanewspaper muri Zimbabwe. And I am saying kwamuri, magenerals aChiwenga, the comrades vaChiwenga vabata Mnangagwa Kwiyo nekudonzera Chief Justice padhuze. For this is the second meeting we are reporting this. Is it still this week? Yes, this week. That's being Friday. So muri Zimbabwe tiri ipapapo, a lot more is happening, and I have to give you this. So mapfumo tataura nezvake ndo watavhura naye. Mapfumo ndo watavhura naye, because ndaperegwa, you know, to see him say what he was saying and changing now. Ndaperegwa. So muri Zimbabwe, let me get into zvinohlisa zviri kuitika muZimbabwe ende zvotohlisa. Let me get this. This is on Newsday. Zimbabwe iya muri Zimbabwe Mnangagwa ava kuwedzera surveillance system kuonekwa every pauri kuinda ma1 but manesa asiri kuhora pasi kuita zvinhu vari kuinvesta in a surveillance system ndo inonzi total state control muri Zimbabwe. Total hanzi Newsday inenge ritodzvengwa nezviri kuitika. Hanzi Zimbabwe expands AI traffic cameras to tackle $400 million road crash losses. Munoisa inonzi propaganda ende Newsday vabiwa nepropaganda yeZANU-PF. To tackle what? Hapazi pamarobots pari kuitika maaccident, maroads akashata. Right, let me get into this a little bit. Atizoverenga yose but toda tichite a little bit because these things are crazy. Hanzi kumazoeko August 7 Newsday Live. Zimbabwe is accelerating the rollout of artificial intelligence-powered traffic enforcement systems as the government seeks to reduce road accidents that cost the economy an estimated $400 million annually. Transport and Infrastructural Development Minister Felix Mona said road crashes were imposing an unsustainable economic burden through healthcare costs, lost productivity, supply chain disruptions, and property damage. I want you to open your ears and your eyes. Regain pinned up. Regain pinned. Triple live, triple live. Welcome. Hans, the cost of road crashes in Zimbabwe averages around $400 million per year. Mona said on Friday during the launch of the 2026 Heroes and Defense Forces Road Safety Enforcement and Educational Awareness Campaign in Mazoe. Now, Zimbabwe, I want to talk about this. Inini ndoda kuudza one thing. I know nyika dzakawanda cameras ariko ari chichi but ndoda kuudza this. Pakatozosara kuiswa makamera nyika yose yanga maroad angava mushengenene everything hospitals vanhu vari kuhora chichi kwete kuti unoona government iwewe inopusha kuti kwanzi tinoda kupusha surveillance system munyika. Iyo ma-accidents emuZimbabwe anonzi kwanzi anoda surveillance yekuti they are actually blaming Zimbabweans for bad driving. Do you understand that part? They're saying Zimbabweans are bad drivers. They need to be monitored. But that's not true. Zimbabwean roads are bad. They need to be fixed. That would reduce, I think, 70% of our accidents. The roads themselves. But a state, a vigilante state, even what they care about is control. They will start investing kuzvinhu zvisingaunzi pundudzo muupenyu hwedu zvakafanana nema-surveillance system. Surveillance system is there for control. So Zimbabwe, this is bad. But that's not only what is happening. I think some of you saw this one. I think some of you saw this one. This one is big. But still, our way. So you have to listen to this. Nyaya yekufadaya kwevana vaMnangagwa yonzi bvu yese pachena. Murezwa tichatovati vafadai. Right. The news works pa X panapo. Vakumana vakakanda statement. This was yesterday. Hanzi, first of all, zvitangane zvima hashtags. Hanzi, hashtag Collins fiance rattles president family. Hashtag KOC battles drug charges in court. President Emmerson Mnangagwa's family is unsettled by scandals and attendant reputational damage caused by its twin son, Collins' controversial fiance Tadiwa KOC Tafirenyika, arrested over drugs on Tuesday. Collins and Sean are Mnangagwa's twin sons, with First Lady Auxilia. Insiders says the growing family discomfort about Collins comes after recent reports linking him to drug abuse and falling in public. And Keyosi's arrest 2 days ago at her Greystone Park home in Harare for illegal possession of drugs. Mresbabwe, tiri kunzwanana tiri tosere. Right, it gets worse. It gets worse. Right, apa muri Collins' fiancé. Collins ana kuroora. What are you saying? That's why I'm saying it gets worse. Hans, according to a request for remand document, police detectives from CID Drugs and Narcotics, acting on a tip-off, raided Keyosi's home on 4 Edgehill Close, Greystone Park, on August 4 to investigate allegations that she was peddling in pethidine. Pethidine, known internationally as meperidine, or by brand names like Demerol, is used to treat pain. It eases severe acute pain. After raiding Keyosi's home around 8 p.m. on Tuesday, police found the 22-year-old in her bedroom counting ampoules. Detectives subsequently seized and recovered 82 ampoules of pethidine and 50 ampoules of morphine sulfate. Additionally, a further search of a white Lamborghini parked at the property uncovered 5 rolls of cannabis hidden in the driver's side armrest. First of all, tudapotara I baby rakolinzi Pan's Lamborghini, a white Lamborghini. Hans, the total street value of the seized drugs is estimated at $204. As a result, she was arrested and charged with unlawfully dealing in dangerous drugs under Section 156, subsection 1A of the Criminal Law Codification and Reform Act. Keyosi appeared before Harare Magistrate Marewa Nazo Gofa and was remanded in custody pending a bail ruling today. This was yesterday. Collins, whose Shona name is Takunda, is a gold dealer. He is an electrical engineer who serves as a top executive for gold mining companies, including ZIMCN Investments and Chengxi Investments. Zimsin Investments operates Radna Gold Mine in Mtoko, Mashonaland East, and has expanded its footprint into energy, logistics, and drilling services through affiliates like KGK. Collins has reportedly made a fortune, millions, from gold dealings with the Chinese since his father seized power from the late former President Robert Mugabe through a coup in 2017 before getting elected in 2018 and in 2023. Mnangagwa has just extended his rule to 2030 from his initial 2028 legal limit through constitutional amendments. Collins' millions have come at a huge cost to the environment. You know sometimes kana uchiverenga something you want to comment but unonzwa kuti vakomana vari kubaya every angle zviri kuitwa the news hawks. This is a very important thing and it gets worse. Hansi, Collins' millions have come at a huge cost to the environment. Chengxi Investments, or Zimbabwe Cheng Investments, which he chairs, has stripped roughly 12 square kilometers of vegetation via open cast mining at the Picture Square Boterekwa escarpment in Shurugwe. Operations have badly scarred landmarks like Dunraven Falls, triggered severe environmental damage, soil erosion, land degradation, and water pollution through sodium cyanide. Sean, also known as Tafado, serves in the Zimbabwe National Army as a lieutenant colonel and is part of the elite presidential guard and close security unit which protects his father. Keyosi has been identified as the younger sister of Dion Tanaka Tafirenyika, a well-known local socialite best known for her high-profile relationship and subsequent legal battles with prominent local hip-hop singer Desmond Stana Chideme. Boys rangu, kana kune mpana akaziva kushandisa fame muno muZimbabwe, ndi Stana. Astana chaila top simbi. Top soup. Chichirepa zvacho. Right, let's go. Hanzi Collins celebrated a lavish 10-year vow renewal with his first wife, Lynette, in 2023. Now. That's why that evening it gets worse. Right, first, Mure Zimbabwe. Tina Emerson Jr. Mnangagwa. Takanguri tanzwa nyaya yekuti wakazodana na Pokelo, wakazoita bwana na Pokelo, iko zvino wakazoramba na Pokelo, and Pokelo was a second wife. Iko zvino izvi tiri kuno kuna Collins tiri kuudzwa kuti isusu he just renewed na 2023 his vow with his first wife, a 10-year vow kurati vanga vatwa ne 10 years with his first wife Lynette muna 2023. However, by late 2024 leaked romantic photos showed he had secretly married a second wife. Chaos. Apa vati chine 22 right now chaos. Uradu muna 2024 likely chachine 19 kana kuti chachine 20. Asi vari kuti chacharogwa. It's a second wife. In 2019 and 2020, Collins was dragged into a bitter legal wrangle with jailed South African-based local businessman Frank Buyanga and his ex-partner Shandele Muteswa over the custody of their young son. Buyanga said Muteswa was romantically involved with Collins. His brother Emerson Jr. has had his own mess love drama with socialite Pokelonari. Collins' other brother David Kudakwashe, finance deputy minister married to Rashida Travers, had an entanglement with Au Marie Iris Ho. Sean is married to Varaidzo and keeps his personal life mostly private. William Soldier. Right, Zimbabwe, ichi ndo chibebi chacho ichi. Vakomana. Ndozateti charoti vakaita mari vakomana. Always, mchifunga kunodla vana handiti, but muri kuwaste ma-state resources. Just imagine kuti muri vangani vanhu vari kuita zvinhu zvisina basa hobo muchingotengera mabhebi malambogini kudai zvinhu zvisina nebasa rese vanhu vachitambura homes edu achienda kuzvipatara kusina mishonga imi muchingobhoula busy kungorarama chilife chimwe handiti chiexotic kuti asati kurarama chilife chemusic video pasine. Right, muri Zimbabwe tiri ipapapa. There is more and more. So ndikuda kuti tipinde panyaya yavatagwirei. So I know I have showed you this video before. Just a book. Right. This video you have let me repeat it a little bit because pane zvataugwa narutendo matinyaradza toda kuti tipinde mazvirika zviri pana, but toda kuti titange taplay a video yacho for those who have never heard him say it.
Yeah. And they say that part is not important in your body. I don't know why they say this. They are saying that God added the part. I'm not sure. But then, anyway, they had to take it out. I was listening to this doctor talking about evolution. I'm like, hey, okay. This is how far we have gone now. And that this thing was being used by dinosaurs. So now that we're not, then we don't need it. And they say that part is not important in your body. I don't know why they say this.
All right. This is bad. You know, sometimes I think boys are not agree. Boys are gangbar. Boys are smart. How did they end up with the millions? I mean, boys are not so good. And it no guy. And then it took bills to us. Chinzo Emmanuel. Hands in Artendo Matinarare. Does the gallbladder not serve a purpose? Some reason why Joseph, because this is science, pure science. And it anyway, gallbladder takaridzidza tiri kuchikoro. Unoza inini pandakatanga kuwa video andakuzvisa mubrain kuti mfeso yari kutaura kuti gallbladder riri muviri make taimba madinosaur ari kuzviona kupi mfeso Ndiye ndakamboti kwanzi iwe what part of history what part of science is Tagbre reading, or is he reading at all? And because hakuna any history not kwanzi human beings come from being dinosaurs. Dinosaurs, they are known as extinct animals which got to an extinct level because of whatever this and this and this, and then they went into extinction. Akapera. Isu stones takabva kuzvimpanzi deanotaura izvozvo takabva kuzvichichichi. It would make sense. Dr. This is bad. Let me come back before ndaenda kuverengerai zvanyogwa pamusoro apa nalini because tataura zvatonyogwa tende zvanyogwa hanzi kana smart tembo vapedza newe unoita chef vemadinosaurs. Handiziva kuti smart tembo vari kurwapo ndivanhu asi I would assume kuti ndimunangagwa. Kana apedza newe unoita chef vemadinosaurs. Doctor ari qualified kuudza Tagbre kuti gallbladder rimaura rina basa because raivapo bhozi raishandiswa nema dinosaurs. Imimi pakaita kujairana kuri serious. Anyway, let me read this. Hans, does the gallbladder not serve a purpose? I was listening to Dr. Tagbre talk about how doctors told him that the gallbladder has no use when they were removing his because of gallstones. I was flabbergasted by the response the doctors gave the billionaire, because the fact that his gallbladder had gallstones actually symbolizes the work that the gallbladder does. It concentrates bile by removing water, and it captures excess cholesterol and bilirubin, a chemical produced when the body breaks down red blood cells before releasing it into the digestive system. Gallstones form in the gallbladder when there is too much cholesterol and bilirubin in the bile coming from the liver. When gallstones are caused by cholesterol, they are yellowish, and when they are caused by bilirubin, they are darker in color. So it's clear that the job of the gallbladder is to store and concentrate bile by removing water, to ensure there is enough concentrated bile to digest fatty foods and to capture cholesterol and bilirubin from the bile. How then can doctors say that this organ has no function when it is clearly concentrating bile and capturing chemicals and cholesterol? Right. This thing chinonzi gallbladder chine function muviri wemunhu, everything chiri mauri. On a scientific level, everything is functional. Everything. And you see, here's the funny thing. One funny thing, isusu sevanhu unoona tinobika sadza nenyama, handiti totanga kudla sadza nenyama, ende unotoona zvanhu zvakatoungana patebhuru zvichitonamata zvichiita sezvinopenga zvisinganzwisisi kuti chii chiri kuitika. Mwari ndokutendai nhasi tikudla chikafu chinonaka zvikazodidi. No, food haidligwi kunaka, inodligwa for energy, for survival. And so that's the function of food, that's the function of muromo, kwete kunakibwa, but to eat for survival, to consume energy. And same thing, imimi bota muri Zimbabwe aripo kuntu kwanzi vanhu vanakigwe, rinongoitwa kana maakuita vana. So that's the function yebota, kana maakuita vana simba, but zvoti every day muri right. So muri Zimbabwe you can see kuti Tagbre achiudziwa zvinhu izvi nemadoctors ake, ndo patiri kudzoka pana pari kutaurwa na lini kuti kana chef kuti chero madoctor aTagbre anogona akaudzigwa zvekutaura, because hakuna doctor anopa stupid. In fact, ndikati stupid ka, you would think kuti aura taringoita zvokupenga. No, but it's illegal. Zvogona kutomusungisa zvokupa advice yakadaro kuna Tagbre kuti gallbladder harina basa. Takuri unenge wakabika nyaya iyi nekusatonzwisisawo because hakuna dokta angamuudza zvakadai. Iwe wakutaura zvemadinosaur mukomana uyu nehuman evolution otaura zvemadinosaur human evolution nemadinosaur hazvipindirani. On a DNA level we have got nothing in common. I mean, of course, but you understand, when we trace back, humans are not coming from dinosaurs at all. So mure Zimbabwe ndoda kuti tipinde even deeper because a lot is happening. And right now tine nyaya yemukomana 10 holy. So gaitu yepa state media ZBC News today muswa 7 August, right? So ZBC iri kutiudza isusu kuti Holy 10 case postponed to August 27 as police finalize investigations. Alright, let me first read a short update. Hanzi, Zimbabwean hip-hop artist Mukudzei Chitsama, popularly known as Holy 10, has been remanded to August 27 as investigations into allegations that he raped a 14-year-old girl continue. Chitsama, who is out on $500 bail, briefly appeared in court on Friday, which is today, before the matter was postponed to allow investigations to be finished. Under his bail conditions, the Ucharamba Uchipisa hitmaker is required to report to the police once a week, reside at his given address, and refrain from interfering with state witnesses. According to the state, the alleged offense occurred in Hatfield after the complainant allegedly met Chitsama in Avondale before proceeding to another location where the alleged rape took place. Prosecutors told the court that 4 other suspects linked to the matter remain at large. The case was remanded to August 27 pending completion of investigations. Mure Zimbabwe, I have a lot to say. I have a lot. To say. You know, I want to speak to the girl child. You know, I don't know, sometimes you develop grievances with people. You get into, because as men, once I am successful, to a certain level, resources, I always use that advantage to get girls, So I will come through Nema resources and talk to you as if for sure you are the first girl I ever loved in my life, right? And then we end up doing what we do, and then mangwana ndisiri phone, and then you feel used, right? And then you decide, no man, reganditi munhu yakandirepa, But do you know how serious that is? And it's bad, not only for the boy child, but also for you as a girl child. It's bad. It's always gonna come up in every relationship you ever get into your whole life. Think about it. Let's say Holy 10 right now, one of our Bamjeri, wapo 20 years. Mwana mdikikawe, mwana 14 years. Wapo 20 years. Wapo 30 years. You always carry that reality with you. Kuti wakasungisa iwewe, a successful young man, from nothing, from the ghetto. He made some money. Now he used that money to finance some girls. I mean, I don't think you girls have to really take offense from men playing you when they're successful, because look at how you look down upon men with no resources. These are realities in this life. So kanama kusangana mine boys nemari, and then you realize boys my players. Don't be that mad. They're just paying back for boys research namari mchitambai. handiti iwe understand that part, because kuzonosungisa munhu uchitaura nyaya dzerap is too bad, it's too big. Makasangana, listen to this, Murezi Baba. Vakasangana ku Avondale ndokuzomova ndokuenda kuHatfield, and then munhu ari kuti sure all of this were happening, and you listen here is one thing. Unosangana nemusikana iwewe womutengera doro, hanzvadzi dzangu ndoda kuti munzvoimi mabhebi, totosangana ini newe ndotenga doro inini tomwa todhakwa, and then toita zvatoita, tomuka mangwana woti wewe ndakakudhakisa ndikakurepa. Ndandakadhakwa tu, tose taidhakwa tichiziva maconsequences, and tose tatakadhakwa. Kana iwe usiri kuziva zvakaitika, probably neno handisi kuziva zvakaitika, ndinongorione memories ari bled of what happened. And why try to destroy somebody's life uchiti wakarepa? Because I know kuti heartbreaks anogwadza, and I know kuti rudoka kunyeperana, mostly kunyeperana kuri serious, because I mean, say boys, once watosvika pane rimwe level kuti surely tumadhora zvitoapoka, kungonyepa chete, kunyepa chete, unenge uchingoenda uchinyepa, chero mukadzi wako chero kazorora unenge uchingomunyepera, because unenge uchingotamba mabhebi uchingoenda wakadaro. But it comes also with zvinoitwa nevakadzi. But you know, in this case ndiri kuti inini I have seen inini kana mwana ane 14 years, it's bad, it's very bad, you know, but at the same time I've seen in you know, kana une like sometimes vanasikana kana vapfeka casual, unoziva muvanasikana unooneka kuti mwana anazvokutodaroka kana akapfeka uniform, kana akapfeka uniform yechikoro unoona azvo munhu mwana, but once kapfeka casual, sometimes kana kachitongo wakabhibhika kuti unotongoti you don't even think about it. Kana kakabvunza kati ndine 18 bo unenge uchitoona kuti obvious. In fact, sometimes achitombopindi mubrain, unenge uchitongona senga kabhebhi kari bo, tungoti vana tunge takafumuka turi tivadiki strike. We all know this. Kuneti vana takafumuka turi vadiki tochiziva yese kari kadiki kakadaro. Anditi because mapictures takamaona isusu kamubhebhi kari kunzi ndoka karohwa naHollyton, andi takamaona tikatoona, ini ndakati ndichitoona kana iwe mwana une 14 years dzekuita sei muri kunyepa. I mean, I just don't know. I mean, that's why vachiri kuita ma-investigations, the courts, I'm sure, even these state prosecutors and whatever, they are really, you know, searching deep into this, because you know sometimes kana mosa chitongwa mukoti vanotarisa kuti ma-conditions are surrounding this thing ndekuita sei. But you know, tine vanhu vakaita sana arakele vakatopinda mujere, didi urimo mujere, but didi rake rubuda mai manje. But tine vanhu vakaita sana arakele, man. When you think about arakele unobva wanyazoona kuti one, you know, wakazodana nevana, wakazoita sei. But at the same time ndoda ngoti kuboys rangu out there, ngwarirai vana ukango ukadhauta chiri kuti akarogona kasina 18, chero kakabvunza kati kane 18, remember kana mapinda mukoti chero musikana akakutaridza a fake ID yakanzi ndine 18, it still remains your responsibility as a man to verify that ID kuti ndechokwadi kana ndeye fake, because kana wapinda mukoti there's no excuse. Kana mwana ari pasi pe 18 unototsikirirwa chete, whether mwana yakakunyepera or whatever, court doesn't care. The responsibility still remains with you to verify. So problem iri panapa haisi kunzi kwa Haafi wakarepa chete. Problem iri panapa ndeyekuti uri kunzi wakarepa, which is a case inogona kutomisira life in jail, but an underage, which is another case. So the combination is 2 years. Yeah, marijuana are serious. And right now unoona ndenchitarisa inini the shame he just brought to his family, to his wife, Kimberly. It's bad, man. It's bad. All it no ngurotela sina basa. Kubva ashitaura kuna na DJ ola kuya. Chinyadzisa mukadzi wake. But this is worse. But it can happen to any of us. It can happen to any of us. We cannot really judge that much. It's bad. But Zimbabwe, this is not all. This is not everything. Regai tichipinda isusu munyaya yedu yekupedzisira yatinayo pano nhasi muri Zimbabwe. Bad and good news and bad news for vanhu vekumasvingo and Zimbabweans in general. So tiri kuuya isusu paNewsday. Tadzoka zvakare paNewsday, and the news dzatinadzo right now ndedze El Nino. El Nino is like a drought muri Zimbabwe, kusanaya kwemvura. We had another El Nino manje. When was that? Kwakuri kuna 2021 erikwe kana kwakuri kumai manje. And what is happening in Zimbabwe? What is happening? But so this is bad news kuti El Nino iri kuda kupindira mu Zimbabwe zvakare. It's expected. It's bad news. But then the good news ndeze kuti idzo pane measures ari kuitwa ne-government, and right now it looks like they've been successful. So let me get into this. Hanzi Masingo, August 5. Government has stepped up efforts to shield the national herd from disease and drought, with Masvingo province leading an intensified livestock protection drive that has already seen more than 160,000 cattle vaccinated against anthrax, well above the initial target of 130,000. The aggressive campaign comes as authorities prepare for an anticipated El Nino-induced drought next season, with officials rolling out deep tank rehabilitation, water development, feed preservation, and farmer training to build resilience in vulnerable communities. Speaking to the media recently, Chief Director of the Directorate of Veterinary Services, Pius Makaya, said the government is strengthening disease surveillance and prevention systems to protect food security and livestock-based livelihoods as climate shocks increase. Government is committed to building a resilient and productive livestock sector capable of withstanding both drought and disease threats, Makaya said. The nationwide vaccination drive, coupled with improved animal health infrastructure and farmer preparedness, is central to that strategy. Right, Zimbabwe. So this is good news and bad news. El Nino is bad, but if we are already expecting it, it's a natural phenomenon. There is nothing we can do about it except prepare for it, which is exactly what is happening right now, which is good. So, vadlive sadza, vadlive mikonde, vana vevu. Unobva watanga kufunga kuti iwe togonzi vana vevu pakudii kwezvo. Is it the right thing? Vana vevu zviizvo tingori vana vevu chete here. Hatinawo some other things like vana vemvura, vana vemoto, fire, electricity, because after all, moon is made up also of electricity a lot. So Zimbabwe, tataura about most of the important things that are happening in Zimbabwe right now, and let me finish with reminding Zimbabweans right now about kubatwa Kwiyo kwaitwa comrade, kwaitwa Mnangagwa NemaComrades nevamwe. It's bad kuti Mnangagwa right now as we speak Abatwa Kwiyo. Right now as we speak, Chief Justice vari kutaurwa navo, which is something big. So Zimbabwe, anyway, peace rugare ngaruve nemi. Thank you for watching.